Hi, this is Dana, and on this channel I speak about Gnostic spirituality. In the current video, God has guided me to talk about a specific topic, which is Autist spirits, or the mode of autism reached by spirits. Literally what happens as karma starts to hit home, individuals, the spirit of the individuals reach a autist mode. So they look, it's very hard for me to describe it. So the spirit, it's not even just a young child. It's more like a toddler, even less, like a very, very, very small, just born baby. Yeah, it literally has no memory, no memory on rational body or emotional body, energy bodies. So they have no reflexes. They don't associate things with emotions or with any kind of understanding. They, in a way, they are like completely blank spirits. So they don't have ability to understand, to think, and to feel empathy or whatever. Yeah. What this means is they are being used by different entities to full extent. God is pointing out to me to say, this happens because the individual who's carrying that spirit, which reached the autist mode, is completely without any life force. So these individuals are those who created huge karma. So they did a lot of harm. They engaged with a lot of darkness, and they did a lot of harm onto others. And this is partly punishment, but partly is just consequence of the darkness they were they decided to take in, because they summon darkness, they cast darkness, and they task darkness to create certain things, but they don't understand, I imagine, or something, that darkness leaves a footprint on them as well. The darkness uses their body in order to attack the other one. So it's not like they are completely out of the equation. Anyhow, it's not my concern to make sure that they understand. My concern is for those who are fighting for themselves to understand about this. So again, the autist mode, or the of the spirit, or the autist spirit, is the one that has absolutely no reaction on rational body or emotional body, because the individual who carries that spirit literally finished the life force energy in themselves. And this can happen in many ways, but this is the situation when the spirit reaches the autist mode. That is a time when somebody has been carrying out spiritual fighting, defending themselves, and rolled back dark forces which these individuals have sent. This is what happens when the dark forces are rolled back and go back to the individual who sent them, which essentially is karma delivery. It's part of the karma delivery. Yeah. What else to say? This is particularly dangerous, and I want individuals who do spiritual fighting to take note. Because when these individuals who have autist mode, autist spirit, yeah, when they bind themselves to you, they will create on you telepathically, sort of say, um, a similar how to say this approach, a similar stance, a similar attitude, sort of say, meaning if it ever happened to you that you see somebody in a spiritual realm attacking you, but you don't react, you sit idle and you just look and you don't do anything, this is not natural. This is because of these autist spirits. Yeah. This is also very dangerous. Why? Because these individuals who have autist spirit or autist mode of their spirit are not capable of thinking, are not capable of feeling. Again, the memory is completely blank. If you have ever seen children or people who suffer of autism, then you will understand. They are literally possessed by spirits, autist spirits. This is why they're in this situation. But leaving this aside and talking about you, what is dangerous about these individuals with autist mode of spirits is that they don't really think. So they can easily, for example, I'll just give you an example out of the blue. They can take a knife and just hit you with a knife without thinking what will be the consequence, that they will kill you. They are incapable of logic, of restraint, of making decisions, of they are completely under control of the dark forces. We are not even talking about possession. It's even worse than possession, because when an individual is being possessed, God is saying that it's part of it. So it's sometimes the spirits possess people because they have spirits in autist mode. But what I've seen, people that are possessed, they still have some sort of ability to think or to feel. But the spirits that I have seen in recent past, because I reached karma delivery in certain situation to certain people who have done wrong to me and harm to me and to my dogs. I witnessed this, so I saw these spirits. Okay, so again, autist spirits are those who actually have absolutely no ability to judge, to think, to make decisions, but they are completely under control of the spirits, which they summoned and they casted. Yeah. And they have no I mean they're dangerous because it's you have a full grown up human which has the brain of a newborn. Yeah. So literally it's dangerous because they don't think, they don't feel any emotion, they don't feel remorse, they don't feel fear, they don't feel empathy. This I don't even dare to go there. So they don't feel anything, they don't they really literally don't have any kind of ability to judge a situation or a person. They will be very dangerous because they are being used by dark forces. But remember that this is happening when karma is hitting. Therefore, the dark forces are at the culmination of being rolled back. They are outraged and they're starving and they're out of the normal status. Yeah. So because of this, this is very dangerous. I emphasize again, if you feel like you're in a blind spot situation, like you are sort of like blocked for a few moments, and it's not you who's doing this on purpose. You need to understand, and I discovered this in recent past through my spiritual fighting, that what they do, they reach this point of autist mode of the spirit, and then they bind themselves to you, or they bring somebody else in this status of autist spirit, and they bind that individual to you in order to block you. This essentially blocks you for some time until you snap out of it. Yeah. So this is the reaction that you have when an autist spirit is binded at you. You cannot make a decision, you cannot think, you cannot feel properly the emotions naturally, unless somebody is projecting a low vibration emotion on you. You don't feel, you don't think, you don't make decisions, or you make very wrong decisions. Now, I'm pretty sure you will meet this. Now, the one thing I want to say is that, and I want to make a reference to a previous video and other videos in which I talked about couples coming together and about forgiveness. And I know I have said a lot of things which, according to the mainstream, it's controversial, but I still support all the information I put out there. And I want to use this video to tell you that in this mode, when they are autist spirits, individuals tend to try to come back to you and get forgiveness, and want to come back and be together, and want you to forgive them, and to I strongly emphasize, this is not them. This is an attempt to transfer karma to you, and it's pushed by the spirit which is possessing that individual, because the spirit literally doesn't have a body. The spirit uses the body of that individual in order to feed on you. If you give forgiveness, literally the individual is blank. It's not that you give forgiveness to the individual, but it's the spirit which possesses that individual, which takes advantage of it, because of course the spirit wants to feed. It's been casted upon you and tasked to feed on you. So it's normal logic for the spirit. So you need to understand that many times when somebody comes and asks forgiveness, it happens because it reached this point of autist mode of the spirit, whereby the spirit works through them. It's not them. If somebody haven't done redemption, to me personally, if somebody hasn't done redemption and hasn't done anything, or something, hasn't done something significant to right the wrongs he has created and done, then there shouldn't be any discussion about any kind of forgiveness and any kind of having any type of empathy or relation with that individual, or communication. You should just cut them off, because they are under the power, and they are being used by many dark spirits, which they used in order to attack you. Okay. And again, I say, because there are many cases, even if they didn't cast the spirits themselves and bondages were created on them, but they refused to fight, that still doesn't change the situation. That still doesn't change the situation. If you don't want to fight, that's your problem. It's your responsibility. This is why in the call for judgment, it said, for the harm done, intended, and facilitated, because you're facilitating. Even if you're not creating the harm, you're facilitating the harm onto others in your name. If you don't fight, then that is your responsibility, and you will pay karma for this. Yeah. So it's important to understand that in the phase in which you receive a lot of insistence from individuals whom normally you know they didn't make efforts to do well by you, and since they learned about the harm they've done, they still didn't do any attempt to right the wrongs they've done, to give you back what they stole from you, and to make justice to you, not only in spiritual realm but also in 3D. Yeah. Then I suggest that you strongly ask for guidance, so you will learn if this is the case, namely that they are in a autist mode of the spirit, and they are being used by entities which were casted upon them or were summoned by them. Many times it happens, for example, God has shown to me that they work with dark forces to do a harm on you, and they cast darkness on you, and then that darkness returns to them if they don't deliver. If they don't succeed to deliver you, the darkness comes for them. That's karma. That's hitting karma. That's karma delivery. Yeah. Because you did spiritual fighting and you defended yourself. This is why. And again, this is part of their karma. If they don't do redemption, they will never get rid of that. They will never get rid of that spirit. I said this in a video. The spirit or the entity claims them, because it says, I pushed you to do this, I gave you power to do this harm on her, I did this, I did that, you belong to me now. And this is their fight, this is their karma and their fight. They need to fight. I don't know to tell you how an individual can get out of the autist mode, but for sure doing redemption is the best way and the easiest way, because you receive divine grace, which is deeply healing. Claiming justice, judgment, and punishment is another way, because then you diminish the karma. You don't take the full responsibility for everything, but God is making justice, and he might say, okay, he's guilty for this and this, but this other one was done on him, it's not his fault. Or I don't know what is the case for everyone. Yeah. But this is the point. You must be cautious. This is very important, and this is also part of the reason why I said in the previous video that celibacy is the only way forward at this point in time, because right now, as I said in the previous video, right now we are at the crossroad when a situational karmic cycle ended of what was created when the Cold War started, which meant establishing a balance and stability, a division of power, spheres of influence and control, which meant also harvesting from certain individuals, because all of these arrangements were based on bondages and contracts sold and shared by the big powers. Yeah. And all of these also entailed 2 world wars and so much more, and it was created using ancient bondages. Yeah. So all of this situational karmic cycle came to an end at this point, and the dark forces are being rolled back. Yeah. And karma is being delivered. So for this reason, this is a very intense time, and for this reason I said clearly, there is no way that you can move forward successfully in defending yourself in spiritual realm and in 3D if you engage in creating a couple, to be in a couple. Yeah. This is why I said celibacy is the only way forward. For certain people, it depends, again, because maybe you decide that you don't want to do spiritual fighting, and you just want to reincarnate and live 3D endlessly. That's your choice. If that's the case, I don't understand what you're doing on my channel. Because I'm talking for people who want to fight and to defend themselves and to be with God and that's chant. So anyhow, I think this is enough. I'm not quite sure if there is anything else that I can tell about this. I guess these are the two issues. One, to be cautious if they bind an autist spirit on you, because that blocks you from the normal instinct reactions. Yeah, that slows you down at least. But my experience is that it blocks you until you understand what is going on and you figure out how to snap out of it. That's one thing. And another thing to remember, whenever you receive an apology and request for forgiveness, to remember that most times, if that individual didn't do redemption, it's for sure that it's a spirit working through him, and it's not literally heartfelt, and in my opinion, they don't deserve any kind of forgiveness. They should just go back and do the spiritual fighting to clear themselves, and they should do redemption because they get divine grace, which is the highest form of healing, and being without life force is extremely dangerous, because sooner or later they will get into a physical disease and death. It's literally like you are dead at this point when you reach the autist mode. Yeah, there are many functions in your body which are completely nullified. So it's not much until you get sick, and then, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna stop here. I hope everybody understood.